everybody, it's Adelaide here from the Looney Love That One, and welcome back to another episode of Ask Adelaide. In my school in 8th grade, when we go to have a tour of the high school, there's this thing called the club fair, where all the clubs have tables out and you can learn about the clubs and take flyers and put your name down on an email list. 8th graders get really excited and they sign up for every club. And then when the school year came, I just never really had time because I danced and I don't know, I just never really got into going to clubs. That I started going to GSA, and now I love it so much, but it's like the only club I'm in. But I would love to be a part of more clubs, but I don't know, it's hard to, if you don't start right away, to get into it. So I recommend starting out with as many clubs as possible. Like in the beginning of the year, go to a lot, and then see which ones you like better. And then you can start going to your favorites. You don't have to go back to all of them, because clubs aren't like you sign up and then you're in it forever. You can just kind of come and go whenever you want. My school, we only have one middle school and one high school, so you're with the same people in high school that you're with in middle school. I know other towns, other people have multiple middle schools, so when you go into high school, it's just like the same as when you go into middle school, where there's all these new people. But even though we only have one middle school and so we're with the same people, none of your friend groups are the same once you go to high school. You're gonna be with your friends from the beginning for like the first week of school, because you're gonna like want to stick with them and be like, so you're not as scared and so you seem like you have friends and stuff. But like honestly, you're gonna be split up from your friends, and you're not going to be in class. You're most likely not going to be in classes with all your friends, or at least not even with most of them. The thing to remember is that everyone is in the same boat as you. Whether it's you're meeting new people, so everyone else there also doesn't know anyone else in the school, or everyone else there has also been split up from their friend groups. Sometimes one person will get left out of their friend group, or the friend group will split in half, or everyone just kind of drifts apart. But everyone's in the same boat and everyone's looking for friends. And what not to do is you don't just go up to someone and be like, hey, let's be friends, because that's weird. But you'll meet people in your classes, and the people in your classes are not going to become your long-term best friends. You're not going to meet someone in your class and then end up hanging out with them outside of school. But it's still a good way to like make connections and meet new people. So like talk to people in your classes, make a class group chat, like get everyone in your class's phone number so you can ask them about homework and stuff. And so you're going to take something that you're interested in. So kind of like the same thing as clubs is like, if there's someone else that is in that elective, they're probably like the same thing as you. You might also end up with people that you kind of knew and then you became closer with. So everyone's going to be making new friends, and don't worry about it. It'll fall into place on its own. I assume when you say how does one not I assume when you say that, you're talking about in terms of the workload. In freshman year, the workload's really not that bad. They really started out really gradually. So you start out in the beginning, they are not having a lot of work, like around the same amount as middle school, and then it gradually got more and more. So you never really felt overwhelmed with work, because you never really felt like you had that much more work. But then I know it changed a lot from that. I know it was a huge gradual change, because when I look back to work in middle school, I'm like, wow, that was nothing. Like, how did I think that was hard in middle school? Like, that was actually I had no homework basically. But it was not a big jump because they did it so gradually. It's like, when you put a frog in boiling water, they'll jump out, but then if you like turn the heat up slowly, they like don't realize they're boiling until it's too late. It's like that. But you'll figure out what works for you, because everyone's different. Everyone has something different that works for them. Especially if you have stuff after school. Like I had dance every evening, and so what I would try my best to do is to get all my homework done before I went to dance, so that when I got home from dance, because also the stress helps me work a little bit better. So if I'm like have like a deadline, like I have to get this done by 6 o'clock, because 6 o'clock is when I have to leave for dance, then I have a deadline, and it helps me work faster. So if you give yourself some sort of deadline, or you have somewhere to go, try to get everything done before you go there, so then when you get back, you can just relax, because I hate getting back from dance at like 10 o'clock and then having to do more work. Make sure you get your stuff done. First of all, is that even legal? Like, is your dad allowed to be your principal? One of the teachers in my school, her daughter goes to the school, but like she's not allowed to be her teacher, but she's allowed to be a teacher at the same school as long as her kids don't have her as a teacher. But a principal, like, you're everyone's principal, but like also it's not the same as like a teacher. It's not like one-on-one. But I guess it's legal because it's happening. If you're scared that people will judge you or something because your dad is the principal, or like you'll be embarrassed, like honestly, it's not a big deal. It'd be in the hallway and stuff, but they're mostly like in the office, like doing work, so it's not like your dad's gonna like come into your class and embarrass you. I mean, maybe your dad will, honestly. My parents would probably do that. but I can't speak from experience on this subject because that's never happened to me or anyone I know. But like, my principal like is like famous at my school, like obviously, but everyone loves him, like everyone's obsessed with him. He's not like made fun of or like joked about, like everyone's just like, yeah, like I'm not gonna say his name or what school I go to because I can't say that, but like let's say his name is like Bob Joe, like every time he makes it out, so everyone's like, yeah, it's Bob Joe, like slay, you know, everyone just like loves it. So you'll be fine. Like, I unfortunately can't speak from experience on this one, but you'll be okay. So I have a binder for each subject, and obviously each teacher is going to have a list of what you need. And so like each of my binders has a notebook and a folder in it, and it's all color coded. Also, I think like everyone color codes their things. Like, what's wrong with you if you're not color coding your stuff? Like for history, my history teacher didn't need us to have a binder, so I just had a notebook and a folder for history. I didn't have a binder for it. So each teacher will give you a list of what you need, you know, same as in middle school, like you'll have that stuff. And then what I also like to do is I have another folder that I call my homework folder. But because sometimes it's kind of like an everything folder, like a mishmash, like a Kingdom Protista folder. So like, let's say in homeroom, your homeroom teacher is handing out like papers, and they're like, you know, picture order forms, or like just some sort of like flyer for an event or something that's happening. And you're not going to have like a separate like homeroom binder, obviously, because it's not a subject. So you have your folder, and so your homeroom flyers or stuff that you get can go into that folder. And same thing, like sometimes at gym, you'll get a piece of paper. Some electives you might need a whole binder for, depending on what kind of elective, if it's a more academic elective, like a writing elective. But most electives you won't have a whole binder for, but you might just get a piece of paper once in a while, so that can go into that folder. So like the class is ending, you packed up your binder and it's all in your backpack already, and it's like, at least for me, it's like a whole hassle to take out my binder, put something in it, and put it in my backpack. So once my backpack is packed up, like I don't want to take any binders out until I like get to my next class and settle down again. So sometimes you like already packed up your backpack and like you're walking out of the classroom, and then the teacher's like, wait, I have homework to give you, and like hands everyone a worksheet. You don't want to just like hold it out, because then it's gonna like, you're gonna lose it, and you don't want to just shove it in your backpack, not in anything, because it's gonna get all ripped and crumpled and you're gonna lose it. So you put it in that folder. It's nice to have like another folder that just could be anything, so that if I'm leaving the classroom and the teacher hands me a piece of paper, I just quickly put it in that folder, and then once I get to my next class and I'm like sitting down again, then I take it out of the folder and like put it in whatever binder it goes in. In high school, you are allowed to carry your backpack around, so at least for me, for most people, I keep everything in my backpack. Like, you do have lockers, but only a couple people use their lockers. I'm like, you're really weird if you use your locker, just saying. I mean, some people do, and like don't like when their backpack's heavy and they take stuff out, but like I personally think that's so dumb. Like, keep your stuff all in your backpack. Like, you don't want to, first of all, need something, like maybe you put something away in the wrong binder, and then you need the thing and realize, oh my god, it's in the other binder in your locker. Like, that's just dumb. Like, you don't need another, like, just carry everything around. It makes your life so much easier. Like I've been saying, you'll figure out what works for you, because everyone's different, and you'll have a little bit of time at the beginning where no one really knows what they're doing, and that's the time where you can figure out what's going to work best for you. All right, well, that is all the questions I'm going to answer today. So thank you so much for asking questions. I hope this video was helpful. I apologize if it wasn't. If you guys have any more questions that didn't get to be answered, then you can comment them down below. If they require a short response, I'll respond to you in the comments. If they require a long response, I can DM with you, like we can have a DM conversation on Instagram, or if you want, we can maybe uvu, if you really want a lot of advice and help. I can uvu a couple of you guys at the same time and talk to you. So if you need any more help, let me know, but I hope that this was helpful. I understand that it can be scary going to freshman year, so I hope that a little bit of advice, you know, a little bit goes a long way. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!